to another week. Welcome back to another vlog. My name is Ari'el. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys, I just got finished doing an amazing journal prompt. Like, okay, let me get down to it. Before I started this vlog today, I was not feeling it. I did not want to. I did not feel like it. I just been going through like some stuff like mentally, and I'm just like, oh, it's not. I posted something yesterday on Instagram, and I'm like, it is not always easy. It is not yesterday, today. I posted something today on Instagram and saying that it's not always easy to get in front of this camera like how we are right now, being vulnerable, especially when you don't feel the best, you don't look your best. Like, I'm having a really bad breakout right now, so you guys, it's just a flare-up. Don't judge my face. Like, it's hard sometimes. It is so hard. So I was like, picking up this camera, I really haven't even vlogged all week long. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have not vlogged all week long. I made the cleaning video, so if you guys have not seen that video, go back and watch it. Take a look at it. It's really cute. I really like that video. I really enjoyed it. I need to clean up again already. But yeah, if you guys have not seen that one, go back and take a look at it. But I haven't picked up the camera since then. So this week for me has been full of what I feel like is self-sabotage. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I feel like it's self-sabotage because I have realized that I romanticize about my past way too much. Like, way too much all week long. So, and for example, like I'll explain what I mean by this. I've had a lot of ups and downs, as we all have in our lives. Like, I've had a lot of ups and downs, and when things aren't consistent, or when things aren't necessarily going exactly how I want them to, or how I feel like they should be going in my life, I tend to what's the word? Fixate? Is that the word? Fixate on my past when it was going like how I wanted it to go. And then I'm constantly, like, literally romanticizing back then. It could be last year, it could be last week, it could be 5 years ago, it could be a certain time or a certain place or area in my life where I was just like, man, I was feeling really good at that point, and then now that I'm not feeling so good, or now, it's almost like you're just beating yourself up. I've talked about this before. Excuse me, I've talked about this before. And I've said, you know, we've all heard that we can be our biggest critics. And I'm like, I know for a fact that I definitely am mine. I can be really, really hard on myself when things aren't being, or when they're not like consistent in my life. And I just constantly like fantasize or romanticize about when it was right. Like, and then also too, with me being a content creator, even before I even got on YouTube, I have constantly documented my life. Like, I was always on Instagram. I always have stories to post. Like, I have a lot of footage that's like on my phone from over the years, just from me putting like little clips together, because too, in my mind, I knew I was going to do YouTube. So I have footage from years ago that I just never posted. I've never done anything with, because in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to get on YouTube. So it's just there. So a lot of times too, I'll go back and I'll look at that stuff, or if it's like something that I posted on Instagram or something in the storage. I don't know if y'all know how it has the memories that'll pop up, like on this day 2 years ago or whatever. That stuff pops up all the time. And a lot of the things that I repost a lot of the things, so I'm like, oh my gosh, that was just so nice. That was a really, really good time. But sometimes, not all the time, this doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it ties back a memory, a certain memory of what was going on in that time frame, and then it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel bad because I'm not there anymore. I'm not there any longer in that time frame. So then it kind of goes on like this whole like downward spiral of me thinking negative thoughts of how come I'm not there anymore, and what happened, and all that. It's just and again, it's not always like that. A lot of times I have a lot of good memories too, that I can leave it just as that. I can post something, or I can look at something old and be like, this was a good memory, and I can remember this in this time, how it was, and I can move on from it. But there's a lot of times where I'm just kind of like, dang, you know, just really beating myself up. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's what I've been feeling this whole week. And it's with everything. It's with how I look, like physical appearance. It's how my skin used to be, how I used to be all clear and nice, and how much smaller I used to be, and I've gained weight. And then my other apartment that I used to be in, like it's just it's everything. I've been like really focusing on everything, on how it was. So I was like, no, I need to do something about this. I need to kind of correct this, because I realize for me that this is starting to become an issue that I don't want to get out of control, and I don't want it to just continue to take me on a path that is just not a good path to be on. It's not a good road to be. It also goes along with appreciating where you are, what you're doing in your life at that moment. Just really focusing on the things like right here, right now at hand, versus, you know, thinking about something negatively in the past. And even though those experiences for me in the past weren't negative, it's almost like I'm turning it into a negative situation because I am constantly thinking about it. And then I'm like, oh, you know, I'm feeling so down because I'm not there anymore, when I really need to be changing the narrative and focusing on the now and creating memories for now, so that in the future I can look back on these memories and not have this same negative tie to it, you know, like I can continue to be consistent. Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm making sense or not. So anywho, so I got on YouTube University, of course, and I was looking at some creators and the different techniques and stuff that they use. And one of the things is, of course, journaling. Y'all know I'm a journal girly. I got a journal for literally everything. This is my personal journal. This is my like content, business, website stuff journal in here. So I wrote down what she told me to do in this journal, and then in my personal journal I actually like wrote out all the prompts and stuff for this exercise. And I'm like, y'all, when I tell you guys, I don't know if you could tell that my spirits are lifted. You probably can't tell because you didn't know how I was. I didn't vlog all week, so you didn't really know how I was the last few days. But when I tell y'all I am pumped, I am pumped. It's such a good way, such a good way. So one of the things that the young lady was telling us to do was to write a list of all the things that I'm not happy about. Write a list of all the things I'm not happy about. That's what was one of the points that she brought out in the video. And at first I was like, well, you know, I don't want to start to feel like even more sad or bad about, you know, the things that I'm not happy about, because if I start to write a list, like I can see it going in that direction, like, dang, I don't do this right, I don't do this right, I'm not happy with this, I want to change this. But then I had to realize that the exercise is not to like kick yourself when you're down. It's not to do that. It's literally to write down everything that you want to change, write down everything that you want to change, write down everything that you want to adjust and work on, and then that way you can see it in writing on paper, and then you can kind of go at it as you please. I got coffee here. All my coffee cups are dirty, so I had to put it in a drink glass. I am huge with journaling. I will always vouch for journaling. I just feel like journaling is a thing that you can do. It's an outlet. It's just so many good positive things about journaling. And when it came down to writing this list, I did write my list out. I wrote a long list of everything that I don't like, that I want to change, that I'm unhappy with, and looking at it and seeing it on paper is a game changer. The other thing that you want to do, and I've talked about this a little bit in the self-love challenge that we did in March, the 31-day self-love challenge, and that was to identify who you want to be. And she brought that out in the video, and then I've also talked about this before. Y'all, when I tell you I'm literally just taking my own advice right now, I struggle with that. I really, really struggle with, it's like I know what to do, I know how to fix things, but when I'm in the moment, I forget, like it just goes out the window. So anyway, I'm like literally just practicing what I preach right now, because I'm in the moment. I'm in the wave. I've had a rough week mentally, like with all this thinking, negative thinking and stuff. So Yeah, we're doing the practices right now. So anyway, identify with who you want to be. So as you're doing that list, when you write down everything that you don't want and you don't like about yourself or about your situation and all of that, you are then going to start to identify with that person. So for example, I'll just use a very vague, simple example. If I want to start to be a gym girly and I want to start going to the gym, what does that girl look like? What time does she get up? You know, like what time is she getting to the gym? What type of exercises is she doing? Is she a Pilates girl? Is she a runner, a track? She wants to run track. Is she like what does that person look like? And then you start to slowly identify with that person. Instead of looking and saying like, oh, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to be, like, I can't, doing what I'm doing as far as reminiscing about the past. Oh, I used to do this, or I used to get up and go to the gym all the time, or I used to go for my walks, my hot girl walks every day. Like, instead of doing that, like starting to identify with the things that's on your list. So if one of the things that I want to do is to start walking all the time again, what does that girl look like? And actually do it. Get up and do it, because I am that girl. It's like mentally you have to reprogram your mind to say, instead of saying like, oh, this is what I want to do, or I need to start doing this, I am that. That is what I am. It is literally fake it till you make it, which is also something else that I talked about in that 31-day self-love challenge. I will link the 31-day self-love challenge somewhere at the bottom or the top of the screen or something. I'm going to go back and watch it myself because I need to go back and watch it myself, because I got some work to do. Mentally, personally, like I have work to do. And I can tell that I did based off of this last week that I've had. Mentally, I was just like, everything just literally went out the window. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be working on this week. I wrote my list out, and then I'm going to slowly start identifying with who I want to be. Telling myself that I am that person so that I can get back on track again. And then maybe everything else will fall into place in my life. All right, I'm in my closet right now, and I am about to throw away some clothes. Not throw away some clothes. I'm about to donate some clothes. When I tell y'all I have no attachment to clothes, like whatsoever, I don't know what that's about. Actually, I do know what that's about. I do know what that's about, because okay, this is another thing. Y'all, when I tell you, I just feel so inspired. Like after that journal prompt, and after like really unleashing and unloading all of my feelings and writing everything down, I went from like feeling 0 to 100 real quick. So like, yeah, but I gotta show y'all where I got the whole thing behind getting rid of clothes and not holding on to clothes. And it's not just clothes, it's like a whole mental thing. The lighting in my closet sucks, so I'm sorry y'all, but it's like a whole mental thing of like holding on to stuff that you really don't need, you don't use, stuff that makes you feel bad. It's a book. Hold on, because it's a book that I have that I've had for a really long time. Hold on. All right, y'all, I've had this book for years and years. It's this one. It's Lawrence Zarian, I think that's how you pronounce his name. 10 Commandments for a Perfect Wardrobe. And I had this book, y'all. Y'all don't know. Let me and it's like a workbook. You can like write in it. I used to highlight stuff in this book. I got this book when I was feeling real down. I was feeling mighty bad. I was feeling real down. I was feeling mighty bad. I was feeling down. He talks about something in this book when it comes to clothes, and I feel like you can kind of relate this to anything that you really want. He was just talking about a wardrobe, but you can do this with your home stuff. Like if you have like random decor stuff, if you want to clutter, start organizing your home. But I think this is the reason why I have such a detachment when it comes to clothing and getting rid of stuff, because I don't like clutter. And it all kind of started from what he said in this book. Let me see. I highlighted it. Okay, yeah. So I'll read you guys just a little bit about what he was talking about. At first, he was talking about getting rid of stuff, donating stuff, which is what I do all the time. And then he says, after you've donated everything, you need to ask yourself the following questions. Before you officially put something back into your wardrobe, ask yourself these questions. And then it says, number 1, have I worn it in the past 3 years? Do I feel confident every time I put it on? Number 3, does this flatter my figure? Number 4, do I feel sexy when I wear it? And number 5, is this garment still on trend or classic enough to keep? And then it also talks about getting rid of some stuff, yada yada. Says if you already pay for it and now you're paying for it physically every day by having it in your closet, taunting you and taking up valuable space, get rid of it, donate it, give it to a friend. If you haven't worn it because it won't fit, this is a good one too. Until you lose that last 5 pounds, do the same. When you lose the weight, here's the thing, y'all. When you lose the weight, you have my permission to go out and celebrate by getting some new things. In the meantime, having clothes in your wardrobe that don't fit, and he literally says that don't fit, is reminding you of what you are not, and it can just make you feel bad. Remember, you can't go back and you don't know the future, so choose to live in the moment and always wear clothes that fit. I'm gonna read that part one more time. In the meantime, having clothes in your wardrobe that don't fit is reminding you of what you are not and can just make you feel bad. Remember, you can't go back and you don't know the future, so choose to live in the moment and always wear clothes that fit. When I tell you guys this has stuck with me, getting rid of stuff, donating clothes and all of that, this has stuck with me for years. I got this book when it first came out. I'll put the book on the bottom of the screen and the year that it came out, because I can't remember when, but it was years ago. And that stuck with me for almost a lifetime. That little, and I highlighted it in there. And that's just with clothes. You can do that with anything. You can do that with anything. If you are a person that's a hoarder and you like a lot of stuff and you just don't know how to get rid of stuff, honestly, ask yourself the questions. Ask yourself the questions so that you can slowly detach from it, get rid of the stuff that you need to get rid of, and then welcome new. You're basically just making space to welcome new things in your life. And that's what I do with clothes. I do this all the time. I will literally bag up bags and bags of clothes and shoes and stuff, get rid of it, buy new stuff, and do the same thing every couple of months, because I just don't, if I can't fit it, like if it's just staring at me, like I don't have no type of connection to that type of stuff. And you can do that with anything in your home, anything you want to get rid of, just like slowly detach, declutter. It's 2024, we decluttering. So that's really what I want to do. So let's go back into my closet. We are about to start the declutter. I'm not going to get rid of like too much stuff this time around, but I am going to get a little bag together. I am. And I'm just going to go through whatever it is that I'm not wearing, whatever it is that I can't fit, whatever it is that I don't see myself wearing at all, and go from there. Make room. Because remember, I told y'all too, I wanted to start building my wardrobe and start getting those classic timeless pieces, comfortable pieces, vacation looks. Like I told y'all that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm dead serious about that. So yeah, let's do it. I just got a small bag worth of stuff that I'm going to be taking in. I also want to transition out my drinking glasses. I'm not going to take them right now. I'm just going to take this little bag, and then I also have some stuff in my car that I'm going to go ahead and get rid of as well in my trunk. And yeah. Hey, how are you? Good. Thank you. hours actually from lunch when you guys saw me earlier. That lunch was everything. When I tell y'all that salad was so freaking good. Oh, it was good. I got some leftovers, so I'm gonna have the rest of that for dinner. So it was so good. But I wanted to share with you guys 3 points that I wrote down this morning when I was journaling, because I thought that this might be kind of encouraging for anybody who may be feeling the same way that I'm feeling, or maybe just needs like a little boost of encouragement, or you know, just kind of uplifting. But it's 3 things that I thought about when it came to journaling this morning. So basically, after I wrote out my list of everything that I wanted to change and adjust and all of that in my life, I also wrote down like 3 helpful tips that can start to get me going in the right direction. And the very first one is to prioritize yourself. The second one is to show up for yourself, which I want to have that in the title of this video because I feel like it's really, really important. And also, the last thing was to take action. So as I was writing and making my list and thinking about everything that I wanted to put in my journal, all of that, those 3 things just kept standing out to me. Prioritize myself, showing up for myself, and then taking action. And I feel like honestly, that is what has been lacking for me. Really. I always use the example of going to work, like when you physically have to get up and go to work. When I go to work, like I have to prioritize that in because I have no choice. I literally have to get up and go to work. If I want to take care of myself or, you know, make a living, like I have to get up and go to work. I have to prioritize that in. It's like the same thing. It's the same things with the things that I want to do, like health-wise, if it's like mental, like taking care of my mental, I have to prioritize myself and realize that those things are extremely important. Just like I get up and go to work every single day, I have to get up and do the work. I gotta put in the work if I want to be mentally better, if I want to be physically better. And yeah, same thing for showing up for yourself. It's the same exact thing, like pretty much picking out those little points, anything that you need to work on, and then showing up. The other thing that I realized today, nobody is coming to save you. Literally, nobody is coming to save you. You may have people in your corner who support you, who love you, but at the end of the day, everybody is living their own lives, and people are gonna always look out for themselves. And it's the same exact thing with us. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm really talking to me too. I'm really talking to me too, because that is one of the things that I had like an aha moment. I'm really good with, you know, going through the feels, feeling the feels, and then moving on, allowing myself to do that, moving on. I preach that as well, just allow yourself to feel. But sometimes, especially as a single person, especially when you're alone, and I'm talking to my single girlies out there right now, it gets hard sometimes when you don't have like anybody to fall back on. You don't have, not necessarily a support system, but you don't have that mate. You don't have a partner that you can really like bounce ideas off of, or somebody to motivate you all the time. And so you have to be your biggest supporter. You have to be the one that's going to get you out of the bed, that's going to make you do the things that you said that you were going to do. If you wrote down specific things that you want to do, you have to be the one that does that. Nobody is gonna do that for you. And even if you're in a relationship, it's the same exact thing. That person is not going to physically make you do those things. They will be there to assist, and they will be there to help, which is amazing. But for this week, for me, I realized that I just don't have that. And well, I didn't realize that part, but because I've been not having that. But I think this week it kind of hit home a little, because I was just like, man, I really wish that I did have somebody to do that extra push. And then I kind of snapped out of it, because I'm like, you know what? Nobody is coming to save you, girl. Nobody is coming. You gotta do the work yourself. You gotta pull yourself out of a tough situation, of a tough time. And yeah. But then that also leads into the third point that I wrote down, which was to take action. So after I prioritize myself, after I show up for myself and realize that ain't nobody coming to save me, nobody is coming to pick me up off the floor when I'm crying, like nobody is coming to do those things, I have to then start taking action. I have to. And I feel like maybe I might be kind of stuck in a thing, you know? by doing all that reminiscing and stuff from the past and thinking about all the good things and why I'm not there and all that, it's like I'm stuck in a limbo stage. And no, it's like it's time to take action. Really, starting off my journaling prompts this morning, that was an action. That was definitely an action, because even with journaling, I haven't even been journaling like within the last week or two. I haven't really been doing it. So that was the first point. And when I tell you I feel so much better, I feel so much better, like mentally just getting out all of my thoughts, so much to where it was inspiration to create this video, because I was like, you know, I didn't know what I wanted to do for this week's video. I didn't really go anywhere. I wasn't really doing anything. I just was feeling bad. But journaling and getting my thoughts out and allowing myself to feel the feels like I have been doing created inspiration. And y'all know I'm really big on healing myself while I'm healing the world, or healing the world while I'm healing myself. One or the other. Anyway, but I also want to hear from you guys. Do you guys ever feel like you're kind of stuck back in the past? Have y'all ever been through anything like what I'm going through right now? I really want to know. Is it called something? I don't know if this is called something, if this is like a thing when it comes to like constantly reminiscing over something that it's just not anymore, and not really appreciating where you are. Like, is that like a thing? I don't know. I want to hear from you guys if you ever experienced anything like that. That is currently what I'm going through. However, that is what I'm also trying to work through and move forward with. And then create new memories, create a new thought process, create a new narrative. Like, I don't want to look down the line in the future, a year from now, and be looking back again, doing the same exact thing, being stuck in the same patterns and just going on a downward spiral. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's like, if I could do it with clothes and get rid of clothes and not have an attachment to that, how come I can't do it with everything else? Y'all, help. Anyway, I'm playing. I'm not though. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, so much for tuning in this week. Let me know your thoughts on everything that I just said. If you guys are going through the same thing, if you have been in the past, what did you do to move forward? Again, it's not like a crippling effect. It's not like, oh my gosh, like I'm crying and all depressed. It's not like that. But I do notice that it's something that I'm constantly thinking about. I'm like starting to really, really think about past things and where I was and how come I'm not there anymore, and beating myself up, and like, how do you get past that? I want to know your suggestions. I'm going to continue to work on mine. I'm going to continue to do all the things seriously, and yeah, let's have a chat about it in the comments below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you have not already.